We are in Alta Badia in the Dolomites, and last year night I was just about to climb up the Passo Pordoi. Come and join us.
Welcome along everybody. As I've already mentioned on screen, we are in the beautiful region of Alta Badia in the Dolomites in northern Italy, and today you are joining myself and Mr. Tom Last in climbing up the Passo Pordoi. Now, if you've ever done the Maratona delle Dolomites before, you will know this climb. If you're going to do it, this will be the second climb that you do, no matter which length of route you're going to take on this year. Now, this is a random race effort session, and as such, the efforts are completely random. I'm actually not going to forewarn you of all of the efforts right now. Instead, I'm just going to give you a little bit of advance warning just before we get to each one. But needless to say, this is going to be hard. This is going to get you fit and used to all sorts of intervals of different durations, so that when you're out on the open road, you can really fly. Now, we've got 2 minutes and 40 left of our warm-up. We'll start at an effort level of 2, and by the end of this warm-up, get up towards 5. Get the blood pumping in the legs, get the heart rate gradually rising. Now, there will be all sorts of different intervals. There'll be some sprints, some tempo, some sweet spot, some max effort 30-second intervals as well. In order to get to the right resistance, you can either use your gears, which is what I'm going to be doing on this, my CycleOps trainer, or if you've got some resistance settings on your trainer at home, you can use them as well. So, trying to get it over 90 RPMs now. This climb is 9.2 kilometers in length with an average gradient of 6.9%. In that time, we're going to be climbing over 600 meters in terms of vertical gain. And because we start quite high at the bottom, that means that by the top, we're going to be over 2,200 meters above sea level and well into the snow line. 1.5 minutes to go of our warm-up, up to an effort level of 3 now. Actually, not a bad idea to start drinking already, even though you're not yet thirsty, because you are going to be sweating in the not too distant future. Okay, 1 minute to go of our warm-up. And now I'm going to tell you that the first part of this session is going to be a tempo effort of 3 minutes. And you want to be at a cadence that's high for this one, 110 RPM. If you haven't got a cadence sensor, you can simply follow the yellow arrows going around on your screen. Try and keep your pedaling in time with that. And it's going to be at a 7 out of 10 effort level. And it's important to note that the effort levels relate to the duration of each interval. So 10 out of 10 for a sprint is max effort. 10 out of 10 for a threshold effort is what you can sustain maximally for an hour. 15 seconds to go, time to try and find the right gear for a tempo effort. 5, 3, 2, 1, and increase the cadence and increase the effort level to 7. We've got 3 minutes of this. Even though the cadence is high, you want to try and keep your upper body nice and still and firm. Just get the legs spinning around underneath you. That's it, well done. So we've still got a fair way to go. Don't put too much into this first one. It is only tempo. It should feel manageable. If you have anyone next to you, you should be able to hold a conversation, at least with a few words at a time. So these are the lower slopes, as you can see, still green down here. It is a beautiful climb if you ever want to go out and visit the region. There are 6 or 7 amazing climbs all in the same area. And if you do the full length Maratona, you'll actually be completing all of them. One minute 20 to go of this tempo effort. Shortly, I'll be letting you know what's coming next. Keep the cadence high, but keep the effort at 7. One minute to go. Seconds to go. Okay, next up we have 1 minute of torque. So the RPM is going to almost halve down to 60 RPM, but the effort level is going to go up 2 notches to 9 out of 10. "15 seconds. 10 to go. So when I overtake Lasty on his trek, we're going to push it down a few gears. 3, 2, 1. Right. Down to 60 RPM. Increase the effort level slightly. It's only 1 minute of this. Again, keep your upper body smooth. Try and stay seated, unlike Lasty. Seconds to go, and next up we have got a sweet spot interval. 90 RPM, 8 out of 10 effort level, and it's going to last for 3 minutes. 10 to go on this. Get ready to go up again through the gears. 2, 1. Back up through the gears, and you can take it down 1 notch on the effort level to 8 out of 10. 3 minutes of this. Keep your cadence in line with the yellow dots, and don't forget to drink, because it might be getting harder later. I'm not going to tell you. Well done everyone, 2 minutes 20 to go. So once again, at this kind of effort level, sweet spot, you should still be able to talk, just about. It is getting slightly less comfortable now. There you can see the snow line ahead. Halfway through this one. First big hairpins. Okay, with 1 minute to go, time for me to tell you what's coming up next. I'm afraid coming up next is a 30-second flat out interval. 10 out of 10 in terms of your effort. We're going to keep the cadence high. I'm letting my cadence drop, I've got to concentrate. 30 seconds to go. Oh, I've already got a sweat on. Maybe I haven't followed my own advice about pacing. Gone too hard too early. 15. 10, you ready? You can click it up one gear to start with. 5, 3, 2, 1, go, flat out. 100 RPM, click it down through the gears if you need to. 20, halfway, 15, 10, keep it going, 5, 3, 2, 1, down. Okay, we're back into sweet spot, just 2 minutes and 15. Effort level, 8 out of 10. Try and get back to a smooth rhythm. Two minutes to go, 90 RPMs. Time I had a fan. Only ever fan. Okay, remind yourself to keep smooth. We're not halfway through this yet, so you've got a long way still to go. Bearing into the lengths coming up. Don't forget to drink if you can. 1 minute. Five seconds to go. Nice steady gradient here, so get yourself into a rhythm before we break your rhythm again really shortly. There's Lasty on the front again. Designed that bike himself, you know. Right, 15 seconds to go now. Coming up next is another 30-second flat out interval. 100 RPM, keep it in the same gear to start with. Get on top of it and then move it up. 3, 2, 1, go. That's it everyone, flat out, 10 out of 10. 20 seconds to go on this. Keep it going. 100 RPM, 10 seconds. Coming up next, tempo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. 7 out of 10, what we started with after our warm-up. If you can remember what gear or resistance you were at, and go back there. As I said, I'm using gears on my CycleOps hammer here to adjust the resistance. So I'm back where I was after the warm-up. 90 RPM, 7 out of 10 effort level. 1.5 minutes to go on this one. Back to being smooth. If you're training for climbing, get yourself into a climbing position. Like last year's there, like I am here on the tops. Might work. Even though you're still at tempo here, it is a chance let yourself recover slightly. You've got to keep the pressure on, the power on slightly, but it's not as hard as the sweet spot. And of course, it's not as hard as those flat out intervals we've been doing. ,30 seconds to go. Okay, coming up next is a 4-minute interval, our longest yet, and it is at your functional threshold power. So if you're using a power meter, sit dead on it. If you're going on feel, functional threshold power is what you can do at maximum for an hour. This is 4 minutes, so it's going to feel ultimately like a 9 out of 10 effort when we get to the end of the 4 minutes. 2, 1, now. So we're raising it from tempo, we're still keeping it smooth, we're at 90 RPM. Heart rate should be coming up now if it hasn't done already from those max 30-second efforts. Ooh, my eyes are stinging from the sweat. .5 minutes to go. You can get out the saddle if you want briefly, as I'm going to do, to relieve some muscles, but try and keep the power at threshold. Changes if you're in a race or if you're on a local group ride or chain gang. We're not just focusing on one of your physiological systems here, we're working them all, we're keeping your body guessing, and if it's the first time you're doing this session, you're keeping your mind guessing too. Okay, we're over halfway through this 4-minute FTP effort. In fact, there's 1.5 minutes to go, so just concentrate. And concentrate on the position you want to improve on. So if you're looking to go faster on the flat, you can do this effort down here. Get aero or on the hoods. But if you're looking to improve your climbing, give your lungs a bit more room, being aero doesn't matter when you're on the Passo Pordoi. 1 minute to go. I know how last he felt riding up here next to me now. Only joking. Okay, keep the concentration, 45 seconds. Right, with 30 seconds to go, I have the pleasure of informing you that you are deserving a recovery period. That's what's coming next. 3 minutes, spinning the legs easy. 4 or 5 out of 10 effort level. 15 seconds until that. Concentrate until then. Lift it if you can. 8, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, take the resistance off. Go down through the gears or take the resistance off on your trainer. You've got 3 minutes of spinning, keeping the RPMs high. Get your breath back. Ready for part 2. And if you are lucky enough to see an advert in this part of the training session, you'll get a slightly longer recovery pace. Coming up towards halfway through the overall duration of this session. Just under 2 minutes of recovery to go. Keep the legs spinning. Don't slacken off too much. This is still 5 out of 10 effort. It's going to be a lot easier than what we've just been doing. But this is the kind of effort you were at towards the end of your warm-up. 1.5 minutes of recovery to go. Make sure you take a drink, wipe the sweat off. If you would like to purchase a G-Syn towel for your indoor training, they are available at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. Right. $50 seconds to go. With 30 to go, I'll let you know what's coming up next. Okay, still climbing, still hovering around 7% gradient as it does all the way up. 30 seconds until our next effort, and the next effort is only 10 seconds long. It's a flat out sprint in the saddle at 110 RPM. So with 10 seconds to go, you want to get the resistance or the gearing in place. Here we go, get yourself ready. It's 10 seconds, so you should be in a gear now. Which is going to take you almost 10 to get on top of. 1, go! 5, 2, 1, back down. Okay, you now have 50 seconds of recovery time, effort level 5, and then we repeat that. 30 to go, keep it spinning. Once again, with 10 to go, we want to get back into the right gear or resistance. Right, 10 to go, go back up through the gears. 5, 3, 2, 1, flat out, come on! Everything through those pedals. 5, 2, 1, back down. Another 50 seconds of recovery. Keep pedaling. Well done everyone. 17 minutes to go of this session, let's make the most of it. 30 to go. And then we've got another 10-second sprint, exactly the same. Five seconds until we want to change gears again, or resistance, and up. 5, get yourself ready, 3, 2, 1, go! 4, 2, 1, and down. Another 50 seconds of recovery now. And then it's 2 minutes back at sweet spot. So 90 RPM, above tempo, less than functional threshold power. It might feel slightly harder, especially if you're going with a power meter today, than the sweet spot effort did before. 20 seconds to go until then. With 10 to go, back up to the big ring, and increase the resistance slightly. 10. Here we go. I'm in the big ring, a little way up the block. 3, 2, 1. Okay, get it back up to tempo. And then sweet spot. 2 minutes of this. 8 out of 10 effort. And 90 RPM, so spinning nicely again. Carry on drinking if you can. Should get through at least 1 bottle if you're training indoors for this. Less than a minute and a half to go until the next part. Don't let the cadence drop, as I just did. Keep concentrating. Into the snow line now. 1 minute to go. Well done everyone, coming up to 2,000 metres of elevation shortly. Really well done. .30 to go, 90 RPM still. Coming up next, same power, same effort level, different cadence. This is back to torque on the next part of this session. Another 2 minutes. We're going back down to 60 RPM, but as I said, keeping the effort the same. 10 to go until that. 5, 3, 2, 1, down. 2 minutes of this, come on. One and a half minutes. Remember, this is not flat out. 8 out of 10 effort. You should feel like you've always got something more in the tank if you really need it. And you might do in a minute. Or 10 seconds in a minute. You can pretty much see the top of the climb just there. 1 minute to go. Keep the pedaling action smooth. Seconds to go. And 30. Now, do you remember at the start of this session, we did some 30-second intervals that were really quite painful? That's what's coming up next, in 20 seconds. You can actually knock it up through the gears with 5 seconds to go. You want to keep the RPMs high for this one. 10, 5, start going up through your gears, flat out for 30 seconds in 2, 1, and go. It's gonna hurt, but get through it. That's it, everyone, come on. 20. We are flying up this climb. There's 10 seconds left. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, back down to tempo, 7 out of 10. Remember, this is what you started at after your warm-up. Oh my word. Okay, try and get your breath back. Concentrate on breathing all the way into the stomach, get it under control. You should be recovering slightly, but still pressing on the pedals. A minute to go of this, 90 RPM, 7 out of 10 in terms of effort level. To go. You remember that 30-second interval we just did? That was even more painful than the first one. That's what's next. Don't blame me. Blame Captain Clifton. At 5 seconds, get the gear ready again. 5, 3, 2, 1, go! 30 seconds, 10 out of 10. Get over top of that gear. 20 to go. Ten to go. 5, then back down to tempo. 3, keep it going. 1, back to your gear you're in before. 1 minute of tempo, 7 out of 10 again. If I can't speak for the last 10 minutes, just go on the information on your screen. I'm getting uncomfortable when I'm starting to get out the saddle. Try and keep the cadence up, 90. Next up, we've got another threshold effort, FTP. 10 out of 10 for an hour. This is only 3 minutes. So it's going to be 8 to 9, 10 out of 10 effort level. We're starting that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, drop to grab. Up 2. Functional threshold power. RPM. Lloyd is attacked. Didn't see myself attack. Can we get him back? Come on. $220 to go. My cadence is dropping. Have to click it up a gear. Come on, only 7.5 minutes of this session to go. Let's make the most of it. He's gaining. Slipping out of vision. Come on. Can't let anyone beat me. Other than myself. Minutes to go. Try to keep it smooth. I know it's really hard now. I'm feeling the same pain as you. little bit left if you really had to. If you were chased by a nasty dog. We're catching him, a minute to go. Come on. He's outside again. He's playing with us. Come on. 40 seconds. Come on, let's try and catch him in the next 30 seconds. 20. That's it, he's coming back. 15. 5. And then back down to tempo when we caught him. 2. 1, and that's it. Back down 1 notch. 7 out of 10. He blew his lights out. Well done everyone. Less than 5 minutes to go, including your cooldown. In 30 seconds from now, we're going to take it all the way to the peak, to the finish line of the Passo Pordoi in the Alta Badia region, the Dolomites. 20 seconds to go. So we're going to give it almost as much as we've got. It's about a minute and a half to the top. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Lift it up. I lied slightly, just over a minute and a half. Oh, he's gone again. Come on his wheel. Stick on the wheel. Keep the cadence high, 100 RPM. This is the last effort now. Ooh. Oh my goodness, out of saddle. Come on, 1 minute to go. Seconds. I can't talk, look at the screen. There's the top. He's gone too early, come on, we can still get this. 30 seconds, keep the cadence high. To go. He's coming back. 15. 10. 5. 2. 1. Cool down. Oh, well done everyone. Tougher than climbing it in real life. -2 degrees. Oh my word. Right, try and keep the legs spinning in a really easy gear. Can't open my eyes. That was a good session. As I said, it focuses not just on one specific physiological system, it keeps you working on all of them. Very little recovery time, as you've now experienced. But you're not going to get much more out of a 40-minute session than that. Okay, give yourself another minute and a half of spinning the legs, let yourself cool down. If you've still got any drink left, have some of that. Don't forget that your recovery period is just as, if not more important than the actual training that you put in. Don't let yourself recover in the hours immediately after and the day after a training session like this. When you start to go hard again too early, you're going to dig yourself a hole. So you want enough impetus and stimulation for your body, but you then want to give it enough rest to actually benefit from and absorb the work that you've done. Okay, 45 seconds. You should be starting to feel a bit more human again now, if you're anything like me. Oh, that was a good session, in hindsight. Thanks, Matt. 30 seconds to go. Now, if you search our channel, you'll be able to find loads more training videos. If you never want to miss one, make sure you subscribe by clicking on the globe. Meanwhile, if you would like to climb one of the other specific climbs here in Alta Badia, you can click in one corner to find the Campo Longo, and you can click in the other corner to find the hardest one from the Maratona, the Passo Pordoi. And if you've liked this session, even though it was extremely hard, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your sado masochistic mates.